Hi there, and welcome to McFreedom Mindset number 14, where we give you both the mindset and the skill set to help you to achieve your own McFreedom, that freedom to scale, grow, sell, or franchise your business, or run it from a beach somewhere if that's what you really want. Now, because it's the start of the year, I want really to touch on planning. I know we've talked about planning in the past, but I really wanted to focus on it this morning because I've had a bit of a refocus, and I just want to share it with you. Now, I do my business planning at the start of my business year, and that's what I always recommend that people do, because it just makes sense from the revenue point of view. All of your plans are focused on the business. So why would I be talking about planning at the beginning of January? Well, for some people, January is it just feels right. It's, there's a whole year stretching ahead of you. You are, you're just energized. You've come through the Christmas period and you're ready to go for another year. For some, they've got new team members, which is actually the case with me. And for others, to be honest, if you don't have any plans in place at all, then any time is a good time to start planning. So as I said, I had a bit of a refocus in January, and I actually took the time, January the 2nd, I took completely to myself, and I just sat and thought about the business. I thought about the year that had just gone, what had been achieved, what I felt really great about, and also what I'd been challenged by, the things that I'd really struggled with. I thought about the people that I was grateful to for their help and support, and for all of the things that I now had in place that I didn't have in place 12 months ago. And it really got me thinking again about the focus areas within the business. Now, if you've followed anything I do, or if you've read Simple, Logical, Repeatable, you know that when I talk about planning, I talk about getting your head around the 5 or 6 key focus areas in your business, those strategic areas. And I refer back to my McDonald's days, where they would always plan around products, price, promotion, people, and place. I thought I was going to forget the last one there. Now, I had focus areas in place last year, and I put them in the book. But when I sat down to think about them, there were a couple of them just didn't feel right. So I wanted to revisit them, and I thought about the vision for the business. Bigger than Gerber, Michael Gerber, that is, who wrote the E-Myth. No small vision. Bigger than Gerber, and better at influencing 6- and 7-figure business owners and getting them to achieve their freedom. Getting them to be able to work on their business rather than in it, to be meerkats rather than hamsters on the treadwheel. And as I sat there and I just thought, didn't even pick up a pen at that point, and I do think better with a pen in my hand, but I didn't pick up a pen because I just wanted to really allow just the thoughts to percolate in my head. And what I came up with, actually it's up on my board here. What I came up with, I put down on this handy dandy sheet. I've got my vision written across the top, and then I wrote down the headings of each focus area. I can't get my fingers right to work. My coordination, I can't do that either. But I looked at what was really important to me over the course of the year, and what I came up with was to be financially healthy. And, I've talked about, profit first and what that's done for me in the business. But really, I do want to be really focused on that, on not building my expenses, but building my profits. Really focused on paying myself first, which isn't selfish, it's sensible. Then I kept visible and influential, because really, if I'm not visible and I'm not influential, then I'm not getting to enough people. I'm not able to impact the lives of the people that I need to. And I really want to get out there and make a difference to those business owners who feel that the only way to be successful is to work harder and harder and harder. It just simply isn't the case. So I want to help those people. And I also want to help their managers who are often, I've talked a lot about this, but the managers who are often promoted into positions without any of the training because the business owner doesn't have time to develop them and give them the skills that they need to manage the team effectively. So then the team get pissed off. Anyway, sorry, did I say that out loud? Then this one down here says oversubscribed. Now, last year I had bums on seats as a focus area, and the more I thought about it, to be honest, it's just not me. It's not about getting bums on seats. It's not about getting any old person to buy into what I do. It's about getting the right people. It's about getting, as I've just said, the business owners and the managers who work for those business owners, giving them the support they need. So it's not just about getting any bum on a seat. It's about attracting all the people that need my support and will benefit from it the most. And to be oversubscribed, to have, to be honest, more people coming to the programs than we can fit, so that they're constantly moving forward. Over here we've got high-performing team. Now, the team has changed and developed over the last probably 6 months. And one of the reasons, as I said, for getting into this was that I hired a new operations manager in October, who passed her probation last Friday. Yay! So having a high-performing team, people who know what their role is, who are capable of doing it to a high standard, and who work really well together as a team, everybody knowing what they're doing, everybody feeling that level of ownership, like the pit stop team that I'm always banging on about. Fully systemized business. Now, you're probably thinking, surely you must already be a fully systemized business. Well, as your business grows, develops, evolves, there are always systems that you need to improve. And this year we have already begun by focusing on the bringing in the technology to support the systems that we already have in place. So we worked hard on putting operational systems for everything in place last year, but now we're making it easier on ourselves by bringing in the technology to help us. We've started using Asana, which I highly recommend. So far, very good, and free for a business of our size. And I've also been talking to guys at System Hub who have a fantastic product aimed at allowing you to keep all of your systems really cleverly together in one place, and all of the training for those systems for your team. Being able to keep a record of that within System Hub. So that's what I'm very excited about. So a fully systemized business, really important. And then the final one is strong partners and affiliates. I recognize, as many people do, that to really get your business to the next level, partnerships are really important. Working with the right people, collaborating with the right people who have similar audiences to you, who you can add value to their people, they can add value to yours. So I really want to focus a lot on those partnerships next year. Now, having that document, and being able to share that with the team has then made the thinking about the goals that we want to achieve so much easier. Being able to say, right, if we want to be there, and for me that document is really about the next 3 years. For many of you it might be the next 10 years. For me it's the next 3 years. That's where I really want to be in 3 years. For each of those, come back to it, for each of these focus areas, these are my intentions for each of them. This is where I want to be with each of them. And that's the sort of way I'd recommend, if you're going to go a similar route, think about your focus areas, those strategic areas, think about your intentions, and then think about the time frame that you want to achieve those in. Because I recommend that we work in a 3-1-90, 3 years, then 1 year, then the next 90 days. That makes sense for me to be 3 years. So the goals for this coming year, I've already sat down with the operations manager, talked her through the goals that we already had in place, and then with the focus areas and the intentions in mind, with that sheet right next to us, thinking about, okay, well, actually, what needs to maybe be moved out of the goals for this coming calendar year, and what needs to be brought in. And so we've done the first draft of the goals, and then on this Thursday, we're going to have a facilitated planning day. And the reason it's facilitated for me is that I like to get involved in the planning. I like to be part of the discussion. And sometimes if you're facilitator and also leader and also part of the discussion, it's all very confusing. So I've chosen to go with a wonderful friend of mine, Linda Holt, who many of you know, and if you don't, look her up because she's fabulous. And she is going to facilitate the day for us. And we've got really clear objectives, what we want to walk out of the room with, and where we want to get to. So things that we already know is that this month we're launching, have already launched really in December, the Managers Development Programme, which starts on Monday. Still room for a few more. If any of you out there either are managers who could do with some help and development because your business owner is way too busy to really give you the input that you need, or if you're a business owner and you've got managers who are struggling, and again you don't have the time that they need to help them. So that's been the focus of December and the first 2 weeks of January. What we've got coming up next, and we've already started working on this, is the Systems for Scale bootcamp, 2-day bootcamp in February, which is really aimed at business owners and their three key either leadership team or 3 key team members to come together and work on the systems, getting out of the business, because it's really hard when you're in the business. It's really hard to find the time to sit and do this, to actually do the doing. And also business owners coming on their own. I don't know about you, but I'm in the talent dynamics and wealth dynamics and every other profile there is going out there. I'm a creator, and quite often us creators need people who take what we've created to bring it to life and dot the I's and cross the T's. So actually coming to a boot camp like the Systems for Scale bootcamp as a team means that you're all singing from the same hymn sheet, you're all talking the same language, you're all able to leave the 2 days and know exactly where you're going and what you need to do. But you've already started work on it. And that bootcamp is a real doing bootcamp. It's not sit and listen to Marianne talking about McDonald's and what they did there and maybe pick up a few tips. It's not. This is the McFreedom system. This is how you do your planning system. Right, let's do some of that. This is how you look at your customer experience system. Is it as simple and straightforward as it should be? How are you supporting it? Have you got all of your how-tos in place? Do your team know what they're doing? And so on and so on. Very, very practical. So we know that we've got that coming up. So we've got everything then in place to get everybody, to get that program oversubscribed. And then from there, it's all about the mentoring and accountability programs. We know where we're at. We know where we're going. We know the marketing tools that we want. What are we doing with the book? What are we doing with speaking engagements? Getting me visible and influential. I need to be out there speaking more. What are we doing about that? Plans are so important. Planning is so important. Bringing the team together, understanding the contribution that we are all going to make going forward, and then getting on with it and trusting each of the team to get on and do their bit, hold them to account. And that's where a tool like Asana is great, because it shows you the tasks that are overdue. It shows you where your deadlines are, and so on. And I know, many of you will already be using a tool like that. Basecamp is another great one. It's just more expensive, and not something that we necessarily need right now. So there are other tools to use. But the most important thing is communication, and keeping that communication strong, communicating your vision, communicating your focus areas and your intentions, and then coming together as a team to really hammer out and agree those goals and the steps that are going to help you to achieve those goals, that are going to get you to achievement. And then, of course, it's all about celebration. Don't forget the celebrating bit. That's really important too. So, they're my thoughts for today. If you enjoyed the McFreedom Mindset, this particular session, or if you're a regular follower and you think other people will benefit from it, or benefit from the Manager's Development Program, you've still got a few days left to get your place on there. So do get in touch, either personal message me on Facebook or email me at mariannepage.co.uk, and I'll be delighted to help you and welcome you on board. So thank you for that. Thank you for listening. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your week, and here's to an amazing 2018 for all of us. Thank you. Bye.